If you're watching this because something online doesn't feel right, I'm glad you're here. A few years ago, I never imagined I'd spend years studying scams. Like a lot of people, I believed I was careful. I believed I'd recognize a scam if I ever saw one. I was wrong. What happened changed the direction of my life. Today, I'm going to show you what I wish someone had shown me before it all happened. So stay with me, because later I will share the one question I had wished I'd asked sooner. Hi, I'm Driana, and welcome to ScamSense. I created this channel for one purpose. That purpose is to help other people avoid being scammed, avoid having their life tampered with, avoid the fear, the pain, and the suffering and the loss that comes with being scammed. This channel exists for one reason: to help people recognize manipulation before it becomes a loss. After my own experience, I became determined to understand how these scams actually work. I spent years researching victim stories, scam tactics, government warnings, investigative reports, and emerging fraud trends. Not only that, but how AI and technology are changing and transforming the ability to convince and scam people easier. What surprised me most wasn't how different the scams were, but how similar they all were. The names might change, the platforms change, the technology is definitely changing and changing vastly, giving them even more tools to convince their targets. But the psychology stays remarkably consistent. One of the biggest myths about scams is that they only happen to people who aren't paying attention. That's not true. We know this is not true. Doctors, teachers, accountants, business owners, retirees, anybody can become a target. Modern scams don't target intelligence. They target human emotion. They want to get to the heart. They want to get to your feelings. They want to make you think they care. They need to build trust with you. It's human emotion, not intelligence. Why smart people get scammed. One thing I want to clear up right away is this: scams are not measured based on intelligence. I have read so many stories from physicians, engineers, teachers, military veterans, accountants, executives, retirees, and even students. And the common thread isn't that they weren't smart. The common thread is that someone learned how to earn their trust. That's why I don't believe in victim blaming. I believe in understanding the manipulation. And in just a few minutes, you'll see why trust, not money, is the real product. Scammers are trying to build trust with you. They're trying to impact you emotionally so that you are attached to them, so that they can be more convincing. And this does take time. Scammers are trying to build. I wish someone had explained this to me years ago. Scammers don't usually convince us with facts. They influence how we feel first. Once emotions take over, it's much harder to evaluate the evidence objectively. And the evidence is there. But once your emotions are tied to this, you've built trust, you have some foundation with this person, whom you don't really know who they are, their real identity. You think that you do, because they've made it convincing, they've played with your emotions, they've built trust. And believe me, this is not just random things they're saying to you. It is based on a script, and there are manuals out there for this. You can look online and research and find script books literally for this. One of the biggest ones is pig butchering. There is literally a manual online on how to do this, how to gain trust with the victims, how to manipulate them emotionally. So again, this is never about intelligence. This is never just money being the main product. This is trust. How trust is built. Think about how a real friendship grows, how a relationship grows. It builds over time, getting to know each other. They don't happen in just one conversation. They happen over time. Sophisticated scammers understand that. So instead of asking for money immediately, they often ask about your day. How do you feel? What did you do? What did you eat? That was one I commonly heard. How did you sleep? What did you eat for breakfast? You need to eat healthier. They pretend to care. They check in when you're sick. They remember your birthday. They remember the little things because they're taking notes along the way. Those notes don't just come from you. They come from research that they have done on you before you even began communicating with them. Anything that you put out there online, social media, anywhere they can get information about you, they have already researched you and targeted you before ever having that first conversation. Anything that they can use to slip into your heart and build that trust, they're going to. Be cautious what you put out there. They can use it. They check in when you're sick. They become familiar. And familiarity can feel a lot like trust. And thinking about that, I want you to think about someone you've met online. If every message disappeared today, every picture, every message, every gift disappeared, what independent evidence would still tell you that the person is exactly who they claim to be? That's not a cynical question, it's a protective question. The next step is where the story changes. Once trust feels real, opportunities begin to appear. And that's where we're going to go next. This is the critical point. When trust becomes opportunity, this is the point where many people think the scam begins. It doesn't. It takes time to build up to the point of ask, the point of entrapping you, the point of asking for money. The opportunity only works because trust has already been built. Trust has been built through many conversations, many check-ins, the many I love yous and love bombing. Pay attention to that, love bombing. We all have heard this term before. The have you eaten? Good morning, sweetheart. How are you? Good night, honey. Sleep well. All of those that felt so good to you at the moment were just convincing you to trust this person. This is the point where many people fall. And the opportunity only works because trust has already been built. Maybe it's an investment someone says changed their life. Maybe it's the new cryptocurrency that's trending. Maybe it's a business opportunity. Maybe it's the financial advice offered to you by someone you've grown to trust. Someone you don't really know, because they have yet to prove themselves to be who they really say they are. Notice how different it feels from a stranger asking for money on day one. We wouldn't normally just hand a stranger money. They know this. Notice how different that feels. In just a minute, I'll explain why polished websites and professional-looking apps can actually make scams more convincing. Scammers don't often ask you to make a huge decision immediately because they know it'll fail. You're not ready for that risk yet. They're still building up to it. And to build up to that, they begin with a small action. Psychologically, once we've taken a small step, it's easier to justify taking a larger risk later. That's why slowing down and independently verifying information is so critical. The illusion of legitimacy. One of the biggest mistakes that we make is assuming that something looks legitimate because it is well designed. It is a design to trap you. Professional graphics, customer support, charts, account balances. None of those things prove an investment or a platform or the person you're speaking with is genuine. They only prove that someone invested a great deal of time into creating a convincing experience. So, what happens when someone finally tries to withdraw everything? For many victims, that's when the story changes dramatically. It did for me. And unfortunately, it doesn't always end there. When the money gets trapped, for many victims, everything still feels normal until they try to withdraw a larger amount. That's often when unexpected obstacles that they've created because it was never real to begin with, but that's when unexpected obstacles begin to appear. There are numerous excuses why you can't withdraw your funds, but honestly, you're never going to be able to withdraw your funds because they've already been moved. It may be a tax must be paid first. Oh, you need to pay this tax to withdraw your funds because we have to report it. A verification fee is required. Your account needs to be upgraded. We need your personal information to allow you to pull your funds out. Personal information, social security, birth date, address, more details that they can use to take more money, whatever it may be from you. That information should be protected. You should never give this information to anybody unless you know there's someone trusted, someone you've been able to verify. Your account needs to be upgraded, one of my favorites. Each explanation may sound reasonable on its own, but together they create a pattern. Pay attention because they've been there the whole time. You just don't see them at first because they're convincing websites, they're convincing apps, they're convincing conversations that all build trust. And anyone can fall victim to this. Anyone. Taking some time out to pay attention to the patterns and researching it can be eye-opening, so slow down, consult someone, talk with someone. Because each explanation may sound reasonable on its own, but together again, it's the pattern. They create a pattern. And recognizing patterns is one of the most powerful ways to protect yourself. The next stage is one that many people never expect, even after they've realized they've been scammed. And again, after they realize they've been scammed is one of the most difficult and confusing moments of all. It's one of the hardest parts. And the hardest part is that every new payment is often presented as the final step. That's why it's important to pause, verify. I say this a lot, but pause, slow down, verify, and seek advice. Tell somebody, talk to somebody before sending any personal information that should be protected, before sending any crypto, any money, any gift cards. Talk to somebody. Slow down. Do some research. Recovery scams. Another favorite. Unfortunately for many people, the story doesn't end when the original scam ends. After money is lost, another person may suddenly appear claiming they can help you, they can recover your funds. They may claim to be a private investigator, a lawyer, a recovery specialist, or even someone from law enforcement. Slow down there, because sometimes they're connected to the original scam and they ask you for money up front, crypto, gift cards. If they ask for money up front to recover your funds, that's a major red flag, major warning sign. The recovery scam is often just another chapter of the same manipulation. Now, given there are some legitimate investigators out there that can help trace some of this down, but if they ever promise they can get your money back, that is a warning sign. AI-enabled scams. Artificial intelligence is making scams even more convincing. Things are changing drastically. AI cloned voices, AI videos, so many things, fake websites, fake graphics, fake designs. Because of AI, it's making it more convincing. So we need to even take more time, slow down more, research, deep fake videos. Gotta love those. I think we've all experienced that at some point. AI generated profile photos, fake documents. Technology can now create very convincing evidence. That's why verification has become more important than ever. We've talked about how these scams begin, how trust is built, and how money becomes trapped. Now let's finish with the most important part of this entire video. How you can protect yourself before any of this happens. How you can help loved ones. How you can help friends. It's important. How to protect yourself. Everything that we've talked about so far, the trust, the emotions, the pressure, all of it leads to this moment. Because protecting yourself isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone new you meet online. It's about building a few simple habits that make manipulation much harder to succeed. Let's create some roadblocks for these scammers. So now I'd like to take the time to go through some of these. Before you send money, change a password, or share personal information that should be protected, pause. Pausing is critical because this is the moment where you can think, you can research, you can clarify things, you can talk to someone you trust. Verify independently, not through a link or number the other person gave you, because we know that is dangerous. Do not click on any links they sent you because it could install spyware. Spyware that can get all the information they need to withdraw more money from you. So verify independently, not through a link or the number the other person gave you, but through a source you found yourself, a source you trust. Consult someone you trust before you commit. Only then decide. Practical safeguards. A few habits protect you more than any single piece of advice. Never move a conversation off the platform where you met. Why? There's no need to do that, other than they're trying to get you to a more private space to conceal their identity or remove their identity so there's no trace of evidence. Never send money to someone you haven't met in person, no matter how long you've spoken, because again, remember, they've built the trust to build up to this part of the ask, and it does take time, maybe months, years. Enable two-factor authentication anywhere you can. Also, again, slow down, especially when they are creating a moment of urgency, because it's not urgency or an emergency, it's a tactic. And again, the one question I mentioned earlier, this is the question I wish I had asked back then, before the loss. If this person disappeared today, what proof would I have that they are who they say they are? So ask yourself, if you're communicating with somebody right now that you think could possibly be a scammer, and they disappear today, what proof would you have that they are who they say they are? Not a photo, not a message, independent proof, verified proof. If the answer is nothing, that's not paranoia. That's information. You don't have to be an expert to protect yourself. You just have to slow down long enough to ask the right questions. And here, I want to address a few things that I recall from my situation as it relates to this, because I feel it's important. 1, they built several months worth of trust with me. Started with a friend request on Facebook. It seemed legitimate. The Facebook profile looked real to me. Some of the pictures looked real. They were even posting pictures of trips and vacations and work. They'd even built up a fictitious job that they had. Everything seemed legitimate to me. And when he reached out originally, he just said he was looking for new friends, wanted to get to know me. And then it started to become, well, I'm very interested in you romantically. I want to talk more. I want to get to know you. So several months went on like this. We shared a lot of information, seemed like we had a lot in common, not realizing at that point that he had done his homework on me, and that through these conversations he was getting to know me more, so it felt like mirroring, or that we had more in common, something to gain more trust, to build more attachment. And then it became the good morning, good night, have you eaten? What have you eaten? Well, you need to eat healthier. Maybe we can work on this together when we see each other and we finally meet up. And supposedly he was only in one state over. It was such a fictitious story built up. And I had already at that point kind of been investigating crypto and looking to invest in crypto. And he brought it up one day that he had been investing. And so I started asking questions, and there was no ask at this point. Everything seemed legitimate. And then he started sharing with me that he could help me invest. It even gave me a link, and information, which I did not click on the link, but I did research this platform website. I actually typed it in. It looked like a legitimate platform. I mean, the whole platform board and customization and graphics and even the customer service section and the account balances and actual crypto listed there. Everything looked real and legitimate to me. And so, of course, being smart about this situation, I thought, well, what if it is a scam? What if this isn't real? I decided to research it more, looked up the platform, looked up the information he was giving me. There were no complaints, nothing online that would lead me to believe that it was not legitimate, that this was a scam. Come to find out later, the reason why is because they attached a fake certificate to the platform. They managed to link it somehow to one of the major platforms, or at least made it look real. There were no complaints about fraud. In my research, I discovered the reason there were no complaints to be found is because they changed the names and the certificates and the look of the platform every couple of months. As people start to complain and realizing it's fraud or it's not legitimate, they report it. Of course, what are we going to do? We're going to report it. So to decrease that visibility into the frauds on these particular platforms, they just changed the name. And the one that I was on had recently, obviously, undergone a name change and some upgrades to make it look better, more convincing, and so that I couldn't find anything fraudulent about it. So I proceeded to talk with him more, and then he was showing me tricks and things here about crypto on real, actual legitimate platforms, and encouraged me to invest a small amount, I think it was about $2,000, into this platform. I did, and he wanted to train me on how to withdraw my funds. So I'm thinking, okay, this is legitimate, this seems real to me. So he showed me how to withdraw it, get it right back into my bank, so I felt safe at that point. My money is okay, I can get it back out when I want to. He said, well, you can do this, you can make more money if you do this, or such and such, so invest more. So I took a larger risk. That was a mistake. Because once I invested that money into the platform, I couldn't get it out. And so I reached out to him, I said, I'm getting error message, and I'm getting messages that say, now I need to pay a tax to get my funds out because they need to report it to the IRS. No, I knew at that moment. My heart sank, and I knew at that moment my money was probably gone. So he said, well, there's something wrong then. There's something wrong with the platform. You just need to reach out to customer service. So he gave me a customer service link. Type it in, look it up, talking to somebody in that customer service link, not realizing they're part of the same scam group or part of his little scam he was pulling. Said, oh, you need to do this. You need to provide us with your social security, your birth date, your address. And yes, we have to report it to the IRS. In researching this, you will learn that they don't do it. You're responsible for reporting and paying your taxes, clearly. So I did not, of course, give any more funds or fees or taxes or any personal protective information to them. I reached back out to him, and at that point, I was angry. I let him know that I was angry. I reported it to Facebook. They couldn't really dig into so many of our private messages, and I feel like there wasn't enough to support me there on Facebook. And then I say the scam groups, anti-scam groups, so to say, and these groups that can help you get your funds back, recovery groups. And one of them actually reached out to me first, so I looked at their Facebook profile. Again, it looks legitimate, everything looks real. There's a lot of people on their same things. They helped me get some of my money back and this and that. And at that time, not knowing, you really can't get your funds back that easily. It's not like that. There's a lot you have to do. I started talking to them. And then they started asking for some funds up front. I thought, okay, I need to pay for this service. So I paid a small amount. I think it was $1,600 or some very small amount, but I had to send it in crypto. also a mistake. And then they gave me fake screenshots of the actual platform, like background screenshots. That led me to believe that they were part of the initial scam. They were part of the same group. I was never going to get my money. And then they started to ask me for more money because they needed to do something with the blockchain or something. They needed to do more tasks to get my funds back. I knew at that moment they were part of it. This is also an additional scam. So at that point, I started researching what I needed to do, filed several reports with the IC3, talked to local law enforcement. I still have an open case with the IC3, but because these scams are so common, there's so many of them out there, they are indeed overloaded with these cases right now, and it may be a while. I did seek out one private investigator, which was able to give me some more information, but not at all recover my funds. I paid a very low fee. I think it was $450. They were able to give me more details about these cameras, track down everything that I did, track down their wallets, because there are several crypto platforms that are required by law to keep the customer's information for 3 years. So if indeed you're fortunate enough to get in time and someone start reviewing your case and you can get that information, they can get the customer on that crypto platform where they moved my funds to, because let me let you know, they moved my funds 3 different times, 3 different wallets. The last place I ended up with, I think, was Binance. And Binance is required to keep the customer's information for a certain period of time. So if they can get in there in time, using the wallet information that I was given, they can only give me partial of it. But a law enforcement agent can research this and get this information and find out who it is. So I'm still waiting. I'm still hoping to get some of my funds back. I'm not as hopeful as I was in the beginning, but I can tell you this, I'm more knowledgeable on this. I won't do this again, and I'm hoping that my experience and what I'm doing now can help others. It can help you, it can help more people, because this has been a tragedy for me. It's caused me to be fearful of everybody I meet online. I am suspicious of people still, but I do my homework, I do my research. It doesn't mean that it's foolproof, because they still find ways in. They're getting more clever, and with AI and technology the way it is today, it's even more convincing. I've had so many deep fakes and AI voice cloning, but I've used some of that not to play along with them, not to allow myself to get scammed, but to put together my research over the last few years so that I can not only keep myself safe, help my loved ones, but help you to help somebody else. So I'm hoping that this information is helpful. And if it has been helpful to you, please like, subscribe, and share with others. We need to stop some more of these scams. We need to create more roadblocks. And I know there's so many great content and content creators out there that are helping with this too. And I am so thankful for them also, because I've learned a lot from them, and they're helping. They're creating more roadblocks. They're stopping some of these scams, or at least they're stopping some people from being scammed. And for that, I am thankful. And I hope to be a part of that and help others, help my loved ones stay safe. But again, thank you for staying with me, and I hope to see you back here. Have a great day.